Hey,
Silence.
Chuck, those glasses seem so feminine. They must be Quay's.
They are. They got left here in the lost and found. So I'm still really tired and I look like so I was like, dang, I need some glasses.
Okay, so
So I
what's a Huey?
Quay.
No, I know, but I don't know what the heck a Quay is. I'm guessing it's a glasses brand.
That's the brand of glasses.
female.
Welcome back to Not a Strong Start, a podcast by filmmakers who talk movies, television, and wear feminine products that are left behind under our beds. I'm your host. We need more Dan.
I am following Chuck's lead. I am Jose.
Yeah. I'm Modoc, the best part of Ant-Man.
Yeah, which tells you that in this week's episode, we're going to be talking about unpopular opinions. Hence my name, We Need More Dan. Not very popular. So as we said, it's going to be unpopular opinion, but here's a popular segment of our show. Let's hit him with the current events.
Modoc is getting his own they're talking about getting his own Disney streaming show, whatever.
Chuck, enough of you, enough of Modoc.
Thank you. 10 minutes of Modoc and Ant-Man 3 was 11 minutes too much. Let's go.
All right. Recent event is so I guess it came out. Aliens, the new Alien movie, is in full effect now. They've already started casting. They're going to start filming early this year. Ridley Scott's going to be producing on it, and I guess the director, which I'm probably going to butcher his name, Fede Alvarez, known for he did Don't Breathe and he did the Evil Dead remake, both two movies that I do enjoy. I guess years ago, he pitched an idea of an Alien movie to Ridley Scott, and Ridley Scott said it stuck with him over the years, and now it looks like they're finally gonna make it happen. There's not too much details on it. All we know is it's gonna base around a very young cast, so it's not gonna be adults, and it's gonna take place in a colony on another world, and that's all we know. And it's actually gonna have xenomorphs, because not all alien movies these days are about the xenomorph. What do you guys think?
I think they should have Modoc in that movie.
We need more Modoc, said no one ever except for Chuck. Is Ridley Scott, like, is he creatively behind it or is he just a producer?
Just a producer.
Good. Now you caught my interest. So yeah, you can't have an alien movie without xenomorphs. The fact that they're going young kids, I mean, is this like Stranger Things? Like, that's not my Alien, man. Like, they have butchered aliens so much that, like, I just don't have any faith. The fact that Hulu's behind it gives me a little bit of, hope, just because they've been doing reboots very well. But I don't know. I mean, they're probably gonna add MODOK by this point. I
mean, it'll be good to see it hopefully get back to his roots. And it isn't, from what I read, it's not Ridley Scott's idea, which is great. So that means we don't have to have, a master's in philosophy to try to figure out the movie. So hopefully it seems like, we're going to space. It's going to be a colony. So even though it is sci-fi, it seems like it's going to be grounded. It's just going to take place on a planet where xenomorphs are there, probably hunting down, and these kids are being taken out one by one. But
that sounds fun.
Yeah, I just want an alien movie with xenomorphs going wild, no mercy, destroying everything in their path, melting faces. Just give me that. I will be happy.
I'm down for that. And you're going to have so many parents watching this enjoy. It's like, get that little kid. Get that little kid. It's all that aggression of bad little children running around.
Where's this colony? I want to take my kids.
Yes, that sounds like a fun family vacation. Let's go there. Like just what they got from Jurassic Park 1. Only $500 for a ticket. Let's go see some dinosaurs. You guys hear about that? Like, I saw that too. That said, Jurassic, at the time that when Jurassic Park came out, like a ticket to go attend for like the week or weekend was only be like $500.
That's just parking at Disney.
Exactly, man. Damn. Okay, so let's get into this episode. This is going to be more of a free forum. We're all going to kind of discuss unpopular opinions that we have. So them's the rules being, you can't say something. You can't pull a Chuck and say, hey, it may not be popular. So like, no, we know what the consensus is. So if you sit here and try to tell me that Venom is a phenomenal movie, I'll take your word for it. If you try to tell me Morbius is a bad movie, that's not an unpopular opinion. That's just facts. So
Nobody asked me what I thought about Alien. Like
Did
two
you
words.
said MODOK?
you did say MODOK. That ends the conversation there. But all right, let's go to aliens, Chuck.
I don't respond to that name.
Yes, MODOK. From here henceforward, you will be MODOK on this show, and there is no going back. So this
Don't
3
care.
seconds joke that you made will forever be brandished for the next 10 years that we do this podcast.
I'm MODOK, and I'm gonna come up with a better what are those called? Where there's a word in each letter.
Weasels?
Moving on. Let's get to the very first one. And I see that Jose's joining you in the glasses brigade. Mine are not nearby, so I can't grab mine.
Okay, I got an unpopular opinion. Christopher Nolan fight scenes are lackluster at best.
Ooh.
As good a director he is, his fight scenes, especially during the Batman trilogy, are lacking. And that became very obvious when we got Batfleck in Batman versus Superman, and we saw a real Batman fight.
Okay, can I piggyback off that? Because I had one, but I won't count it as one that has Christopher Nolan on it too. It's Christopher Nolan movies are unnecessarily complicated and ruining the movies the more he puts out on them. It's just too much.
Ooh, that's I don't know if I
too late. You already said that. I just piggyback off it. It means that's part of your argument. Go.
No, I'm kicking. I'm taking the side truck off my motorcycle, the little cart. I'm kicking the trailer off. You're not staying with me on that.
When you said that, I thought of like Harrison Ford kicking off Sean Connery in Last Crusade. Goes out the cliff. Dope visual. All right. All right. We'll stick to your point.
No. Yeah. What do you think, MODOK?
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I forgot the joke we made 10 seconds ago.
That Dan himself made.
That I made. These are the rules that I created.
I'm just going off the Ant-Man joke where he doesn't respond to Darren, he just responds to MODOK. So, you know what? I agree. Especially after seeing Batfleck. Like, that's how you choreograph at least a Batman fight scene. And when I start to think about some of his fight scenes and some of his, like, pretty standard for everything that he does, and as a great a filmmaker as he is, he should have better fight scenes. I agree.
So it's boring if all of us always agree to the unpopular opinion. So I'm now stuck in a corner thanks to MODOK that I have to tell you, Jose, why you're wrong. In the movie Inception, Joseph Gordon-Levitt is fighting with the spinning room. That's a cool fight scene. That's cool. It's creative. Christopher Nolan movies are not action movies. Right? There's action to the movies, but they're not defined as just an action. I would never say Christopher Nolan movies just an action movie. So adding the element of the fighting sequences is not the main important theme for his movies. So you can get away with lackluster fighting because his movie's deeper than that.
And he does get away with it because the other movie is good, but it still does not mean that I'm not going to point out the fact that the fighting could be so much better. Yeah, that fight was creative, but I'm more focused on the spinning room than the actual fighting itself. Like, ooh, look at that room. That's pretty cool how they did that. Not like, wow, look at this fight. You know, he quick cuts the crap out of us, especially when it came to it. Where sometimes I'm like, was that Batman's fist or was that someone else's fist? And where is it going? And who hit who? And how did Alfred get his hand get in this? Like,
you said, is that Batman's fist or is that? I thought you were gonna go somewhere completely different with that joke. And then I see Chuck kind of, I was like, no.
I was sorry, like, MODOK. And I'm all,
what is it? What are you gonna say?
That got MODOK's attention, and MODOK loves him some of that. So, all right, MODOK, let's go off with you.
But wait, I will offer your attempted piggyback, which I tried to bring you on board, and then I had to rescind your ticket. Yeah. But no, I can't agree with that at all. Do some of his movies get complicated? Yes. But I feel that improves, at least for me, it has improved future viewings, where as I keep watching, I keep getting more and more, even though I do enjoy it the first time, but my enjoyment goes a little higher as I start capturing more things. So I feel it actually adds to the replayability.
Okay, fair enough. But let me tell you this, right? So I didn't say I love Christopher Nolan, right? Like I feel like for the most part, we all like Christopher Nolan. I'm saying they go unnecessarily complicated. Would you say Tenet is his best movie?
No.
Best movie?
Would you would you say his earlier films are better?
Yes.
Yes.
Would you say Inception's better than Interstellar?
Yes.
So the more movies he's come out with have gotten a little bit worse because he's getting so entrapped on the storyline that we're missing the memento. Like we're missing the heart of just focusing on your character development. It's becoming so complicated that it feels almost like homework. Tenet, I don't know anybody that walked away from Tenet the very first viewing without doing any reading that knew exactly what happened. You had to research, you had to go back and rewatch it. And I still have people that I read it, I watched it, and I still don't get it. Dude, just give me a good story from A to B and like don't overcomplicate it. Does he have that in him?
He's doing A to B. He's just going A, G, X, R, S, B. And I'm like, bro, like I didn't like Tenet. It made me freaking sick for one. And then I still don't really understand what, like they got bands on their arms and I'm like, okay, that's supposed to help me, but it really doesn't, you know. And I didn't like Dunkirk. I thought it was whack.
I didn't really like Dunkirk either.
Yeah. Dunkirk was actually pretty straightforward.
1917 better to me. I liked it better than Dunkirk.
Yeah. Dunkirk was a good theater experience, but I don't need to see that one on just regular TV.
That's
it was
my
a good
point,
experience in the theater. But I will say this for Interstellar. If I go through the work of getting a damn degree, a science degree in astrophysics and all of that, you damn well better be sure that I'm going to put that degree to work in this script. Whether you understand it or not, it was like you will feel what I felt getting this degree.
I told you when I watched that movie with my stepdad, I was like, dude, you got to watch this movie. And he's like, so what's going on here? And I'm like, oh, they're trying to find a formula for like gravity so they can put people up. He's like, yeah, but how? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, how are they going to do that? I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't have a degree in astrophysics. Like, I have no idea how they're going to do it. I'm like, geez.
But what thing? But the thing that he said, the thing did it. Stepdad, what? The thing. Tell me the thing. I don't want to. I'm hungry. Just look at food.
He's all, forget it. I don't want to watch this. And I'm like, bro.
Give me one for us people. Like, stop making me feel dumb watching your movie, having to go read an article and having to go back and reread it and rewatch it saying, nope, I never would have figured this out on my own. Like, I'm so focused on like the movement and the fighting. I wasn't paying attention to the band on their arm. Like, I don't know, man.
I will say Tenet is more understandable than Interstellar is.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not saying Interstellar was bad. I liked Interstellar. But my point though is saying his earlier work, for the majority, is better than his later work. He's not hitting the same marks as much as he used to, and that's because he's going too deep into these equations. It's just he's too smart for himself. Can you just give me surface level time travel? Like, did you need to go that deep with it?
Well, now we're going to be getting into nuclear fission, so good luck with that.
MODOK.
I love where this is going.
And funniest part of Ant-Man Quantumania.
First of all, that is a fallacy because Bill Murray was in the movie. MODOK was dumb. He had that funny line about the thing, but everything else about him was just stupid. It was unnecessary. They had the little cartoon shorts of MODOK that's Patton Oswalt. Patton Oswalt is a perfect MODOK. Perfect. And like that little short cartoons, I was laughing my butt off watching it. I thought it was great. This one, I'm like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like he's saying stuff that's so irrelevant to the story. It was so unnecessary. And Darren is like the actor is like not even a comedic actor. So like cast a person that's funnier if their whole character is based off of just one line quips.
Dude, he had a little butt.
And I look at third grader.
Butt. They could have had me had a little butt, dude. That's funny, dude.
So the little butt got you. So the design got you.
I would say the goop had more funny moments than MODOK did.
Yeah.
What was the goop?
The goop with the holes.
Yeah.
They wanted the holes.
Yeah, the guy from the Dark Knight Returns or something.
The
That
Dot
weird
Man,
looking
right?
dude.
From Suicide Squad, the Dot Man. That
Yes,
was him.
yes, Polka Dot Man. Yeah, yeah. Like I'm half joking. I really did enjoy him. He was stupid, but like I don't know. Like I was telling Dan the other day, I was like, Marvel, I don't know what they're doing, dude. I really don't know what they're doing. And this Modoc character would not have been in the first three phases of Marvel. So I don't know what they're doing. So I went in there like per usual, had my hot dog, had my nachos, had my Sour Patch Kids. I'm just gonna enjoy it. I'm just gonna try to enjoy it, because I didn't like Thor: Love and Thunder, Wakanda. Like I was like, what, and instead of just sitting there and trying to, like, I was analyzing, I was picking all these things, and I don't like Thor, I don't like Wakanda I don't like this, I don't like that. I'm like, you know what? It's Ant-Man. I'm just gonna enjoy it. And he had a little butt, and that was funny. And then like
It made me
I
laugh.
like, yeah, I like that actor. I know he's not a comedic actor, Corey Stoll. I don't know. I like him, and he had some funny lines, and I'm like, you know what? They want him to be stupid. They want him to be dumb. That's what I'm gonna take from it. And the whole thing, like, I'm not a dick. That was stupid. That was not funny. But the rest of it, I was like, he's an idiot. I can relate. So, I'm like, I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to lean into the skid curve, whatever. And yeah. And then he's like, at least I get to go out and Avenger. Like, that was good stuff.
I was like, the actor did what he could with what he was
Yeah.
given. The problems in there had nothing to do with the actor. It was just more how it was written and the story itself.
And the design was so bad. It just kept taking me out. I couldn't get past it.
Did you like it when he had his armor on or not?
Yeah. Yeah. The armor was fine. I don't dislike MODOK, the character. When he had the armor, it looked fine. The second we saw the stretched out face, I'm like, this looks terrible. Like the VFX. Jurassic Park, the original, has better VFX than that. This movie had terrible VFX in the movie, and you see people like clowning on it. And when you see like the cutout of them in front of the green screen, it feels like Marvel's not even trying anymore with their VFX. Like, oh, it's a quantum realm. It's like, yeah, but it still looks like unreal. Like everything.
It's because the people that do the VFX have not slept for 7 years.
That is true. They just get cattle prodded. Zzz, get up, get up, get up.
Get back to work. We have 7 shows to release in the next month.
That's funny. All right, Jose, hit us with the next one.
All right. This one, Napoleon Dynamite isn't really that funny. I don't get the hype. I feel it's overrated. I thought maybe I just missed stuff the first time, so I did watch it another time, and I didn't laugh. And the first time, the only line I laughed at, well, I kind of chuckled. I didn't really laugh. Was the 2% milk line. And I was like, that's pretty good. Besides that, I was just like, this is kind of dumb. I don't know. Maybe it's not my type of comedy, but I do not find that movie funny. I do not know why it's considered a cult comedy classic.
That's a good one because some people agree with you, but it's still an unpopular opinion because a lot of people praise it. My brother hates it too. He despises it. He's like, nope, like he hates it because it's so dumb. When I first saw it, I didn't really get it either. And it took me like the second viewing, I started getting it more and more. And it's like the awkward funny. To me, the funniest joke of Napoleon Dynamite is around the scene that you said where he's on that egg farm and the school bus is driving by when they shoot that cow, and the kid at the perfect time when the kids are passing and you see them all screaming. It's jokes like that where it's like you have to really think about it. It's like the kids are traumatized for life. Some of them probably went vegan because they drove by for those 2 seconds. It's
like,
so stupid.
Like Uncle Rico, he's like, I can throw his football over that mountain over there.
It's so or when he throws the steak and he throws it like sidearm and it hits him right in the face. It's so stupid. Like I hear what you're saying though, Jose, and I can't disagree with you. It's just the great thing about comedy is that it's just subjective, and to me, the movie's funny. I like it.
Yeah, I guess that just is not my type because I also feel the same. I did laugh a little bit more during this other movie, but I kind of had the same feelings with like Zoolander, where it was like, okay, guys, it's not that funny. Like you can
Oh, see,
stop
I don't
talking
like
about it
Zoolander.
every
I
year.
agree. I agree. I don't like Zoolander that much. Like, there's a couple little funny parts, but I just think for the most part, I think it's dumb. I think it's one of Ben Stiller's like worst
Yeah,
movies.
I don't like Zoolander. I like Along Came Polly better.
Yeah, but Philip Seymour Hoffman is what made
Yeah,
that
dude,
movie
he's
for
out
me.
raindrops.
Let it rain. And
Yeah.
stomach, the face messing.
He's like, hey man, can we switch up? He's like, no, man, I just figured out how to guard this guy.
That's the only scene I remember from that movie, and it still makes me laugh.
No, dude, when they go to the
Indian
art
restaurant.
show.
Oh,
No, the art show, and he's like, bro, we gotta go. I just sharded. And he's like,
yes.
well, what do you mean? It's like, I have to like fart
Yeah.
and shit in my pants.
And you
it's
see him
like,
walking, little butt as he's paddling. I remember when they're at the Indian restaurant, and he eats the hot food, and he knocks in the bathroom. He's like, and you just hear like the most like LA white boy that's in there. Sorry, bro, occupado.
yeah, he's like, I'm gonna be here for a while, bro. Sorry.
Yeah, like he's like the understanding of like, yo, bro, like us white folks, we do not have the stomach for
When he tells him he's gonna be there for a while,
like, I'm sorry, bro, and like sympathizing. That's funny. That's a good one. Okay. The next one I have. Okay, this is not necessarily specific to a movie. This is just like an overall idea. Everybody thinks like, dude, if there was superheroes, it'd be so awesome. Like if our world has superheroes, that'd be amazing. Here's my unpopular idea. It'd be awful if we lived in a world with superheroes, because you're not a superhero. So imagine your car, total destruction, having to pay so much money on taxes, having people that lord over us, and that they can just wipe us out whenever. Like they're going to have this God complex because they are. We're always going to fear inferior. So like if the Avengers are out and about and like Captain America, they're just destroying all this stuff and you're running around like an idiot. You're going to get killed in destruction. It's not as cool as you think it's going to be, man. Like if you actually lived in a world where we had to keep paying like quadruple your taxes, and like a small group of like half of a percentage of people are completely like deciding how we live our lives. If Thanos, you know what I mean, like a Magneto just wants to come in like, I'll destroy you. I'm going to destroy Sanford and the Valley. MODOK's over here like, damn it. Damn. I just bought this car, man. Like this is destroyed. It would not be cool living in a superhero world.
I agree.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Just imagine the traffic that comes with that.
Yes.
It's like, there's another fight downtown, so traffic has backed up a little bit.
Yeah, man. Like The Boys captures it a little better of like normal people with superheroes and like how much dicks that they are. And it's like that's how it will be. Like they're gonna be dicks. They're not gonna be nice guys.
Yeah. No. Unless I
would
have
be a
powers,
dick.
then I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, but no, we wouldn't be.
Yeah, I would be like Hollow Man. I would do all the shit that Kevin Bacon does in Hollow Man if I was like invisible.
Yeah.
Not even gonna lie.
Stop me. Stop me.
I would.
You don't
be
like
a
it?
villain.
Stop me.
I will be a villain.
I would
But here we go,
absolutely
Dan.
be a villain.
If superheroes exist, you can't tell me I can't have powers to be superhero, because then I can just try all the different methods to try to gain powers. I'll look for spiders, find radioactive batches, whatever it takes.
What was it? It was a cartoon, I want to say, where like they had superheroes like that, and someone like dumps chemicals on them, and they end up like all like a giant fly, and they're just flopping around. Like, well, that didn't work. Like,
you move on to the next one. You know, whatever it takes. You know, if you have to look at your mom and dad and be like, "Ooh, sorry," you know, I need to be a hero. Sacrifices might be made.
Do you guys ever see those like kind of hidden Cameron videos of like there'll be like a guy working like in a kitchen and like a plate will fall and he'll catch it, right? And then he's
gotta test it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I did that so much as a kid.
To see if he's Spider-Man, he's all
stupid
Bro,
kid.
You can't tell me you're not ever just like sitting down and you need to get something, but you just feel tired and you're like, let me just try just in case. Like, can I bring this with the Force?
I've tried to use the Force many times before. I'm like, Nope.
I'd be the fattest Jedi ever because I wouldn't even walk. I would just lift and just levitate myself without ever using my legs, and everything would come to me. I'd be
What
lazy.
do they call it? Like atrophy or something of your
Yeah.
legs? Your legs no longer work.
All right, you guys ready for this one? You ready?
Yes.
Episode 7 of The Last of Us sucked.
Episode 7 was the flashback
The
episode.
newest one.
I disagree with
The
you
character build-up one.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
tell
one
us
that could have
why.
been an email, not a Zoom. Tell me, Jose, what did we learn that we already didn't know?
Well, first of all, how she got bit. We also learned
Email.
her background, which we know nothing about the act. Chuck, if they send an email, you're not going to read the email. The Zoom call is the only way you're going to actually intake this.
And we have proof for that because Jose sends us emails on structures. And MODOK never answers that. Even at the beginning of this, like when we recorded, wait, what episode is it again? He doesn't even read text messages, which is even shorter.
Oh, there we go. Could have been a text message, not even an email. This is my thing, and then you guys can argue and get mad at me. I understand the thing, she got bit, a little bit of her background, a little bit of why she went back to save Joel. But with 9 episodes, it just felt like a waste. It felt like we're only getting 9. And not only that, I'm pretty sure it was the longest running episode other than the first one. It was like almost an hour, of a backstory. Like what did I get from it? That she already loved Joel or cared about him? I already knew that. And it shows how she got bit, but did I need 60 minutes
Yes.
of how she got bit? I didn't feel like I needed that. I was so bored. It stopped the story. Joel gets stabbed. You wait a week to find out what happened to Joel. Okay, I don't.
I have a question for you.
Okay,
MODOK.
Yeah.
No, if you want to finish. I just want to
Yeah.
let you know I got a question for you.
I have to wait a week to find out what happened to Joel. And not only that, now I have to wait 2 weeks because I still don't really know what's going to happen to Joel. To me, it just stopped the story. It didn't move forward for me. I'm just flashback. Okay, cool. That's how she got bit. Great. I know it has no effect on her because she's immune. Don't care. So.
Okay. So here's my question. Did you like episode 3?
Yes, I did.
What's the difference? Because you had a character that they introduced and literally existed for only 1 episode and is never going to play a factor for the rest of the series.
It still felt like it moved the story along about where they were going and where they had to be and where they went and the stuff they got. And yeah, they ended up crashing the truck an episode later and they didn't need it, but if I'm going to go kind of by what you were mentioning before, the acting and the story and the chemistry was amazing. It was undeniable. I didn't feel that with these 2 girls.
That's what. So you didn't like her act. So it sounds like you don't like her as an actress.
And I already had that episode. I don't need another one.
That's fair.
There's only 9 episodes. I don't need another whole flashback episode that completely stops the story.
So my thinking behind The Last of Us, and I can't say you're wrong. I love the episode. So, but I understand why you don't. But I think if you don't like 7, then you also shouldn't like 3. And the reason why I say this is because if people are watching The Last of Us to see an action-packed show, those episodes don't do that, right? It's just character development, which tells me you're watching the wrong show. But it sounds like with you, that's not the issue. The issue is just Bella Ramsey, that actress.
Yeah, no, I knew what kind of show I was watching. I already knew that the background of this show is the zombies. But the real part of the show is the connection between Joel and Ellie. Mm-hmm. And I didn't get that in this episode. He wasn't even in the episode, and that's why it's why are you watching the show? And I'll be honest, I'm watching it for Pedro Pascal. you know, like, and they're dynamic. They have a great dynamic together. I love their dynamic. I love the fact that he sees her as like his daughter that he lost. I like that maybe she sees him as the dad she never had. I like that dynamic. I don't mind the slow pace. I don't mind the story. I don't mind that there's haven't been that many zombies. I love the show. I didn't get any of that in that episode. And I already had a flashback episode. I don't need another one. Like,
The short season aspect that I can see, I can agree with you on that when you have 9, 10 episodes, especially when there's so much content to cover. If they're covering the whole first game in this, it's like it's probably not most ideal to not move the now story along. But I feel, if any, I loved episode 3, and I
yeah,
did like this one. If I had to choose between both of them, I do feel 3 was stronger,
yeah,
just off a performance aspect of it. But I do feel if this one is more important to the story than what 3 is,
right,
because this is developing one of the 2 main characters. We got the right off the bat, we knocked off Joel's character and we got his background. So we see what motivates him, what drives him, what incidents shaped him. We didn't get that from Ramsey. Everything was just exposition. She'll drop hints. This happened. This happened. Here we got to see one of the major traumatizing moments in her and get a better picture of why she is how she is and why she reacts how she reacts. So I feel, if anything, this episode is more important than 3 is, even though I like 3 better than this episode.
yeah. I agree with that. I just didn't need 60 minutes of it.
Lord of the Rings is more boring than it is entertaining. They're all about an hour too long when it comes to them, especially the last one that had like 17 different endings. You
Did you guys hear
probably
about that
could
real
have,
quick? That they're re-releasing a longer extended version
yeah.
of Return of the
How
King,
can
and
you get any longer?
it's over 4 hours and 11 minutes long.
Yeah.
I
The
just want to see
original,
more Legolas. Like, there's in the director's in the regular movie, the first one, he does like 4, but in the director's cut, he does like 8. I'm like, I want to see more of that. I can do like 12 more of those,
Yeah.
and then I'll be
yeah.
fine.
It was just it's one of those series. I'm not a gigantic Harry Potter fan of Lord of the Rings, and I put those together because generally they kind of get put together that fantasy franchises. Harry Potter, I saw once, I was able to see again. Lord of the Rings, I saw once, never had the desire to see again because it was good, but it overstayed its welcome. Basically, it Simpsoned it, and it went way too long. You could have cut 45 minutes to an hour and made it more compact and still kept a good story.
I
So
I agree with that for The Hobbit, not for Lord of the Rings though. The Hobbit, definitely. That could have been one movie. One long movie. But Lord of the Rings, I don't know. Definitely the Return of the King that had the 4 endings. I can't get through it that anymore, really. I'm done after they drop the ring in. I'm like, I'm out. But
yeah.
I disagree with you
Yeah, I wanted to
strongly.
watch them go through this journey. I didn't want to feel like I'm actually taking this trek with them to do this journey.
That
Like
you're walking there with them.
yeah, I felt like I could have walked cross country in the time that it took this movie to like finish.
Okay. My opinion is when I watched the Lord of the Rings the first time, I liked them. Game of Thrones came out. I love gritty more, and I've never gone back to Lord of the Rings, and it feels boring to me now. So I get it. I think them being long is pretty popular opinion. I think that's a popular opinion, but you saying they're boring is unpopular, and I agree. They got kind of boring to me, but because Game of Thrones got it so well, I just like gritty, man. I like that the heart, like the fact that death feels imminent and real fascinates me more than just a safe bubble world. And Lord of the Rings feels very safe bubble.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I don't mind a long movie if you make good use of that length. that
Mhm.
you're putting in there, and I don't feel.
That's what she said.
Yep, I caught that.
You
Caught that
caught
as
it
I
when you
said
said
it.
the length and
That's
how
what I
you
said.
put it in there. I'm like,
Yeah, I was like, caught that. But it's unnecessary length. There's no way to say it.
there's no way to say it.
Yeah, it was unnecessary. You didn't need too much. You could have been good with 8. You didn't need 13.
The Rock, charismatic. I love The Rock. John Cena has a better franchise than The Rock has ever had in his career. The Peacemaker. The Rock doesn't have any franchise or any movie that's on that level that's as good as that, or a performance that John Cena did better than The Peacemaker. Despite
Can
me
we
liking
call
The
it a
Rock more.
franchise?
Huh?
Can we call it a franchise yet?
Well, like he was in a movie and he has a television show. So I'm talking about literally the Peacemaker character. It's a franchise because there's more than one. It's not like a standalone movie. So I use it as a broad term saying The Rock hasn't done an individual movie or has been part of a franchise that has given me a better performance or a better product than what John Cena did in Peacemaker, despite The Rock being more likable, despite me liking him more. He's more charismatic. I think he's a better actor, but he hasn't proven to me otherwise. John Cena did such an amazing job with Peacemaker and showed versatility. He even added dramatic scenes that we just haven't seen out of The Rock. All of his like franchises have just not been that great.
Has The Rock cried before?
Not that I've seen.
Honestly, before Peacemaker show, I probably would have disagreed with you.
100%, because John Cena never showed it.
That character allowed him to show more range that I can't remember seeing from The Rock in anything. The Rock is entertaining but he's in a box. He's just The Rock.
Yeah, he's basically Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is always Tom Hanks.
And here's a segue to your unpopular opinion. Hit us with Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is a good actor. He is.
Oh, I'm glad you gave him that, MODOK. I'm glad you gave him.
Yeah.
He's good. You guys can have that. He's all right. He's good.
He's a good actor, but he's the same. He's always Tom Hanks. He's Tom Hanks playing Forrest Gump. I'm not gonna go there. He's Tom Hanks, and he's the captain of his platoon. He's Tom Hanks, but he has a Russian accent, and he's stuck in an airport.
It's just terminal.
Yeah, he's Tom Hanks, and he's gay, and he has AIDS, but he's always Tom Hanks. He's not. What's the guy for There Will Be Blood?
Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis.
He's not Daniel Day-Lewis.
No, he's not Daniel Day-Lewis.
He's not Daniel Day-Lewis. He's, you know what? Unpopular opinion. He's not even Dave Bautista.
MODOK went there.
That is so ridiculous that how do you even argue that, because it's so like far off? That's like that's your flat Earth theory, right?
Conspiracy, yeah.
To the point it was like it's so obviously wrong that like how can you argue it?
You got me, Kyrie Irving. You got me.
I watched cabin Knock at the Cabin of the Woods, and I didn't see Batista. I saw this dude, and I didn't really care for the movie. I don't know if you guys saw it or not. It was all right, but he's so good, and I guess that's what I'm thinking about, because you guys are talking about Cena and The Rock, and it's not an unpopular opinion, but he blows them out of the water as far as acting from a wrestler.
And everybody puts The Rock, and we do too, right? Like rightfully, the guy's so charismatic, but is he so charismatic that he's just masking his acting ability?
Yeah, he's always The Rock. He's just always The Rock. It doesn't matter what he's doing. He's The Rock.
And like his franchises don't do as well. The Scorpion King, nowhere near on the level. Like he was touted as like the next Arnold, but Arnold had iconic characters, and The Rock doesn't have anything like that. Like he's done the Scorpion King, he's done the Jumanji movies. What's everybody's opinion? Oh, it's kind of funny. Nobody cares that much. Like it doesn't have he's not the Terminator. He's not Conan the Barbarian. Like the dude doesn't have iconic roles like that. Even though Arnold battling the same thing that The Rock has of like, well, you're just Arnold. Yeah, but why is Arnold getting lost in this? Like, is it because he's choosing better product? Like, The Rock is so at a high level that he has opportunity to choose these other projects. Is he going the Will Smith route of I need to be the lead, I need to be this, I don't want to do an ensemble, I don't know. But whatever reason, the dude just hasn't turned out a character that's
He
been
needs
as
to
good
do
as
that. He needs to have a good role in a good movie that isn't necessarily the main role.
correct. So why are
That's
they
what he needs to
choosing
do.
Batista over The Rock?
Yeah,
Maybe his acting's not as great.
yeah. Batista,
I
he's
think
good.
it is.
So you're gonna, in with a straight face, just stand there and say Tom Hanks' Big is the same as Tom Hanks' Road to Perdition is the same as Tom Hanks in the
And Catch Me
Casting
If You
movie.
Can. And Catch Me If You Can and Castaway.
3 completely different ranges.
Big, I will give you that one.
And Woody.
But Road to Perdition, he was still Tom Hanks with a mustache. Dude, I don't see it. He's always Tom Hanks. He's always Tom Hanks, dude. He's no Daniel Day-Lewis, and he's no Dave Batista, and he's no MODOK. He's no David Cross.
Oh, get out of here.
Oh no, that's the other guy.
Yeah, David Cross
That's
is a
Tobias.
Darren Cross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's no David Cross either. Just so
I wish Disney would have never acquired Fox. Like, I know people were so hyped and so excited because it was like now Disney can have the X-Men and they can have Fantastic Four and all of that. But I felt even though Fox did not do the best with some of those properties, even though I did enjoy like the original X-Men, I did like First Class and what they did with that. And I feel it's good if some of those properties are in different hands just to see a different like style, different look at it. You know, the MCU, it's all within the same format. And then now that we're seeing the MCU struggle, what are we gonna get out of these products by the time we get an X-Men, by the time we get a Fantastic Four? Is it gonna be like the Phase 4 and Phase 5 MCU so far? Then at that point, you might as well have left it with Fox at that point because it would have been getting the same quality. But I feel it's like that when you don't have competition, when you don't have to compete with someone, you don't push as hard. And I feel with Disney kind of owning everything, is who are they going to compete with when it comes to a certain properties? What they just have Sony, who just has like the Spider-Man verse, like that's it. And they already pay them for the rights, so they're already using that characters. So they're kind of just they have a monopoly when it comes to like the Marvel characters, and I feel we're going to continue to see the quality go down because of that.
Okay, so I before I was so excited when they acquired Fox. I now agree with you in terms of Phase 4 and Phase 5 has just been downright not good. Like it's not even like, oh, it's not as great. It's just not good. I put in the not good category. I can't call it complete disaster just because they've had some shows that have been successful, but it's just not good. To play devil's advocate to make this more interesting, what I'll argue then is Fox ruined their movies, like the Spider-Man, the X-Men, like they were just terrible. Sorry, not the Spider-Man movies, but like the other ones were just terrible. So it was guaranteed to be bad movies versus Marvel's now a crapshoot. There's potential that it could be good. It's not guaranteed that it's bad. That's where I'd argue.
Yeah. They just need to take their time. There's just too much content with Marvel.
Too much content.
They need to release like 3 movies a year, maybe 4, 3 or 4 shows, maybe. It's just too much. We've talked about it before. It's just way too much, oversaturated. And maybe if they take their time with the writing, the acting, the effects, we'll get the stuff that we got in Phase 1 through 3. So.
But I mean, let's see. And going back to like the Fox thing, I see what you say. Fox did release a lot of crappy movies, but I think the fact is them to try to compete against Marvel, being willing to kind of experiment and try to do different things. That's how we got Deadpool. That's how we got Logan. which, you know, were two amazing. They can go head to head with most of what MCU has to
True.
offer. And we got those from Fox.
Mhm.
Amongst all the crap, we did get some, you know, some diamonds in the
That's true.
rough
You're right.
because we had those two separate companies both trying to catch up with the MCU and trying different things. Like, hey, you know what MCU doesn't do? They don't do rated R movies. Let's do a rated R like Deadpool.
Yeah.
Hey, we failed with the other Wolverines. Let's go more grounded and get really gritty and do Logan. And that
Yeah.
gave us one of the best comic book movies that there is. Now it's
Yeah.
all under one umbrella.
Mhm.
What's gonna force them to really change?
That's fair. For mine, I have Iron Man, Tony Stark taking Peter Parker under his wing, killed his origin story. What I loved, I was such a huge fan of Spider-Man as a kid, and I loved that he was an everyday man representing us, middle class, as a superhero. And when we jumped to Spider-Man, we already skipped his origin story, which I'm perfectly fine with. But now he has rich boy Tony Stark paying for his stuff. He gives him an electric suit. He curbs his training so much that it relies on Tom Holland having to be humble and down to earth to make his character feel that way. Tobey Maguire was a much better character that represented Peter Parker than Tom Holland. MCU kind of came in and ruined that. We like Tom Holland because he's charismatic and he does a better job, as we've all agreed, as a Peter Parker Spider-Man. Like, he does a better job as the actor playing both characters. But the character itself, you give him a young, hot Aunt May. It was supposed to be an older woman because she's struggling with medical bills with no Uncle Ben. You took all that away, and now he's got rich resources and funding. There's no, like, what is his plight? Like, the dude's destined for greatness now, and it's made his character boring. Like,
Well,
he's not spunky anymore.
yeah, I agree with that. The only thing is, I feel like that's where they're going now, right? Because no one knows who he is now, right? And so now he like creates his own suit. He's got nothing. He doesn't have Tony Stark anymore. So I feel like maybe they might be getting back to what you feel like they missed when they brought him in.
But it
So,
feels like it's record. Like, oh well, Peter Parker knows now what it feels like. You know what I'm saying? And
oh, right, right, right,
before,
right, right. Okay,
the
okay, okay.
charm of Spider-Man was he had real life problems while he was a superhero, and always felt like he was a teenager fighting these grown adult villains, and he still had these medical bills. He still had to take care of his old Aunt May. Like, all that's gone now. Like, now it's like,
Okay.
okay, you played with Richie Rich, and now you're not friends with him anymore. But it's like, but you still, like, you got taken advantage, like, you were taking advantage of so much that, like, you're just a rich boy now. Like, you're
Yeah.
not that humble kid anymore.
I will see. I partially I agree with you on that aspect. You know, the Spider-Man's main thing is your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and we got one movie of friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, which was the
Mm-hmm.
first one with Falcon. Because then by
Yeah.
the second one, they were in another country. By the third one, they're bringing in the multiverse, and all of these other ones, and everything just was big almost from the start. Besides that first movie, so I do see that where he should be a little more inner city grounded type of character. But to play devil's advocate, maybe in the end, story wise, this might be for the best. Kind of going with what Chuck was saying is he experienced all this big stuff, having all this support both financially and having the backup of the Avengers pretty much like from the start and all of that. And then now his fall, which was his sacrifice, is that much bigger than now his crawling back up where he doesn't have the financial support. You know, he has pretty much no income. He's going to have to get a job. He has no support in the form of friends or anything like that. He has no Aunt May. He's literally by himself. And it was like, I feel we're gonna get a better Spider-Man now because now that he's seen the top and he lost all of that, it can make him more appreciative of all the little things, as then now he kind of works his way back up from the ground. So story and character development wise might work out best in the end.
Ben Affleck is the hottest actor of all time?
I can't even rate this one. I don't know.
I'm kidding. I mean, I'm not kidding, but I was gonna say Ben Affleck is the best Batman.
He's
I
the
can argue that.
best fighting Batman that we have seen, but not the best Batman because that's all he. Not all. That's the main thing he brought to the table was being the best fighting Batman, and we got a good Batfleck, and we got a lazy doesn't look like he doesn't want to be there Batfleck. So he's only batting 50% in this role. So you can't get best Batman when you're batting 50%.
Okay.
He's in the Hall of Fame if he's playing baseball.
That's true.
But now when the other ones are batting higher,
I think he physically embodies that character the best. And like Jose was saying, like his fighting scenes were the best. Like he was just more gritty and scary and posing. Could fight Superman. Keaton, Bale, they would have got murked by Superman.
Keaton had no choice. He had no chance, man. I love Keaton, but yeah, he had no chance.
You know, to me, he's got the best bat suit. Like he's yoked. Like he's just physically the best Batman. And I like.
I just picture Keaton getting. You want to get nuts? Laser vision. You're done.
Can't bend his neck. Can't bend his neck.
Roasting nuts.
Yeah, you can't move, dude.
They showed some
man.
clips of like George Clooney as Batman too, where he's like trying to get up. Like
imagine him on the toilet, bro, and he's got to get up and people are just and you can't wipe and you can't look. How awkward. Trying to grab the creamer while on set.
Oh my god.
So ridiculous. Okay, so for me, it's and I know we've kind of argued about this stuff, is you can't help separate the movie and the character. And what I mean by that is Christian Bale the best Batman? I don't know. I know both of you guys say no, right? Is that fair? You both say no on Bale being the best Batman? Well, you just said no.
I think
MODOK.
it's Ben Affleck.
Yeah. How about you, Jose? Who's your favorite Batman?
See, I don't have a favorite Batman. They each have a
Something
strength.
different. Yeah.
Like the best Batman is an amalgamation of all of them together because they each have a strength. Christian Bale, I believe he was like the best like Bruce Wayne that we've gotten in there, and then the suit he was okay. Ben Affleck's the best fighting like Batman. So it was like they each have something that was a strength.
Okay. So for me, I can't help but separate the character with the movie. So saying Ben Affleck is the best Batman, he was in one awful movie, and then BVS to me is either arguably mediocre or bad. I don't think it's good at all. I know you guys like it more than I do. I think it's still a very bad movie with clear issues with it, and I think it's biasness to say it's really good. It's a very flawed movie. So it's hard for me to say he's the best Batman when he's not in the best movies. Christian Bale, to me, I agree with you, Jose. It's hard for me to definitively say the best one, but I still give the nod to Bale because his franchise is just way better. And you're dealing with that version of the Joker. You're dealing with those versions of those characters. You can say, well, Christian Bale is not what made that. You're right, but he also didn't ruin it. And he elevated, he played well off of Heath Ledger. He did good enough to make those movies phenomenal. The Dark Knight to me is a 10 out of 10. And he bounced off of Heath Ledger well. So even if you say, well, he was flatter, he wasn't as dynamic, he wasn't supposed to be. That's what made Heath Ledger's Joker so great, was because they were so opposite. So I can't give them the roses, but then knock Bale for that. He did what he needed to do to make the movie amazing. So that's why I say Bale's still the better Batman.
I will say this against Bale. Can you be the best Batman when your Batman career is only about 2 years and you retire?
He had the better movies. So, yeah.
Well, I'm saying as a Batman, he had no longevity as a Batman.
In their
in
timeline.
the movie, in the criteria, all of that took place in like 2 years. That's all he lasted as Batman. So that's also a knock against him as a Batman character. Is like, he didn't last long in the job.
Jose, that doesn't help my argument, so I will strike it from the record.
Michael Keaton, it sounds like Michael Keaton's lasted about 40 years as Batman. So
he's still going.
He's still going, man. Keaton's awesome too, man. And I know we did a whole Batman episode, so we won't spend too much time talking about, debating about all this stuff. Or you can watch our episode, Who Played the Best Batman, when we talk about it. Thank you for watching another episode of Not a Strong Start. You can watch us on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Let us know what's your most unpopular opinion. Also, let us know which one of our unpopular opinions was the most wrong. Which one was one we're like way off on, and you want to scream at us and tell us that we're idiots. Because guess what? Spoiler alert, we are idiots. So tell us what you think. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Not a Strong Start. You can listen to us anywhere you listen to your podcast. I'm your host. We need more D because the whole world needs more D. Vitamin D, that is, and Sunny Delight. You can follow me at King_Sangre.
I am Jose, and I just picture Michael Keaton getting obliterated by Superman again. You can find me at This Is Me Nobre on Instagram.
That's good.
And I'm Modok. Find me anywhere.
He's everywhere and everywhere all at once.
In dark alleys where I'm taking Jose when he comes to visit.